Las Cruces is the city of the crosses, the second largest city in New Mexico and the home of New Mexico State University, founded in 1888, New Mexico's only land-grant university. New Mexico State University began in 1888 as an agricultural college, and now it is a comprehensive institution dedicated to teaching, research, and service at the graduate and undergraduate level. New Mexico State University is the only research-extensive land-grant USA-Mexico border institution classified as Hispanic serving by the federal government. The university also has an extensive international student population from countries in Central America, the Caribbean, South America, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. The university is also home to the state's NASA Space Grant Program. The region features desert mesas, the farmlands of the Rio Grande Valley, and the Organ Mountains, an extension of the Rocky Mountain chain. The total enrollment at New Mexico State University's main campus and branch campuses is approximately 26,000 students. Minority enrollment at the main campus is more than 48%. Obviously, New Mexico State University and Las Cruces have a long, proud history of ethnic traditions. And one would never, ever think that this same university would become a battleground of racial discrimination, retaliation, and wrongful termination. But it has. And it has because of the actions and racist attitudes of a very small group of former New Mexico State University faculty and regents. Even so, that as a result, there has been many major changes at the university. The university president is gone. The Board of Regents president, as well as 2 other regents, are also gone. And a former associate dean are all long gone. Today, the Insider Exclusive goes behind the headlines to get this incredible story of racism and retaliation at one of America's and the Southwest most prestigious schools, New Mexico State University, as Chris Moody and Judy Fritsch, Moody and Warner, fight for social justice for their clients. Hi, I'm Steve Murphy, and this is the Insider Exclusive, live from Albuquerque, New Mexico, at the law firm of Moody and Warner. It's my great pleasure to introduce Chris Moody and Judy Fritsch to the show. Welcome to the show. We're going to discuss a case today that has yet to go to trial.
Right.
It's an outrageous case, in my mind, of racism, discrimination, retaliation, any number of things. The case is Byrd versus the Regents of New Mexico State University, right? Yes. Tell us what our audience needs to know about this case, the real facts of the case.
Well, the bottom line, what people need to know about that case is that there was, I think, outrageous racism at a state university. A minority husband and wife team, faculty, she's African American, he is Hispanic.
What are their names?
Their names are Yelena Byrd and John Moraros.
Mm-hmm.
They were brought in, they got their PhDs at New Mexico State, they were brought in, they'd been teaching, they were converted to regular tenure track faculty, and then shortly after that, within a year of that happening, the hierarchy in the department changed, and the new people did not want them. Racial comments were made. Right. All kinds of things.
Well, let's talk about that, because this case is a public case, right?
Yes.
It's been in the news, and let's talk about specific individuals. A change was made as the department head of an individual by the name of James Robinson, correct?
That's true.
Now, many of the people that we're talking about, and this is what I found this case amazing, they're doctors, and yet their behavior is something you'd expect to find in the schoolyard. So let's name some names. We've got James Robinson. He was the head of the department. He was brought in, I think, the fall of 2007. He had an associate dean, Larry Olson, correct?
Right.
What initially happened to incur the wrath of these people towards Byrd and her husband?
I think it was Byrd's and Moraros' success. They were very bright, capable researchers. They were researching epidemiology, real hard science, and I think they were doing really significant work. They were getting recognition.
Unfortunately, we can't have Yelena here today, but we do have a video deposition of her making some comments about some of the racist remarks that were made to her. We're going to go to that right now.
These incidents we're talking about with Dr. Olson. Got spring '04, summer '06, spring '07. Are there any others that you can think of?
Other what?
Incidents of racial comments made by Dr. Olson, or racially discriminatory comments?
It would be the, between November, December of 2007, after I got back from Seattle, where Dr. Olson was, I think he was leaving for the day, and myself and Dr. John Morales were so happened at the elevator. And the question came up again about the amount of money Dr. Morales and I would be making, and if we totaled both our monies, we were practically making the same amount as he does. And he said that was unfair, and especially to the point where he was still harping on the fact that we should not have accepted the minority incentive. Dr. Olson then continued by saying, well, you accepted the minority incentive, and I know you're not black. You do not speak like a black woman, you do not dress like a black woman, and you're too educated to be black. At that point, I told Dr. Olson, he is wrong. I am African American. And at that point, he turned to Dr. Morales and said, oh, and you saying that you are of Mexican heritage, what is that, an 8th or a 16th? If that makes you a minority, well, my family, my ethnicity or family is from Norway or Sweden, and does that make him a Viking?
Okay. Did you respond to that statement?
That's right. I told Dr. Larry Olson that he's wrong. I am African American, and I think that this is the second time he's said that same statement. And quite frankly, I told him I'm getting a bit tired of it, and I am black, Larry.
What happened to Yelena and her husband so they ended up getting terminated?
Well, what happened was that they were doing their PhD research in Seattle, Washington.
Yes.
They traveled back to Las Cruces, and they were to be reimbursed for that travel expense. And Yelena submitted a reimbursement request, and so did John. Mm-hmm. So there are two reimbursement requests. There should only have been one. Neither one knew the other one was doing it.
Yeah, and who seized on this so-called fraudulent attempt to deprive the university? I think the expense account was $800. Was
about $800.
Yeah. Who seized on this as an opportunity to terminate them?
During the fall of 2007, Larry Olson was acting as the associate dean, interim dean, while Jeffrey Brandon was gone. He had seized on that issue and had transferred it to the internal audit department at the university. Our information is typically what happens is the professors are brought in, questioned informally, and nothing much happens when it's revealed to be a mistake.
And yet Dr. Robinson seized on this as an opportunity to oust them, correct?
Robinson and Olson both were
played
a part, yes.
We have a deposition of Dr. Robinson. We invited him to be here. Strange that he didn't show up. Just kidding. But we have a deposition, him addressing, I like to call, Travelgate. Let's go to that right now.
One of the issues that came up, and again, this is a conversation I had with John, because they traveled to Washington for a professional conference, APHA. And in the submission of the travel reimbursement, he submitted two what I call carriage receipts. They weren't taxi receipts. They were for some carriage service. And they were on the same day. And they were for 30, I think $35, $36 each, and they went each way. And I confronted John with this, and I said, you know, you can't submit these because you're in D.C. and you're going out for dinner, and I know the taxi cabs in D.C. are zoned. You could have walked or taken a taxi cab for no more than $5 each way. Why are you spending $35 for a carriage service, and where did you go? And he admitted that it was just an extravagance. And I said, well, then you go ahead and submit one. I'll pay one, but I won't pay both. So these are some of the things that just underlie this. And she, in essence, is a co-conspirator to this.
That's amazing. And it seems that he called an emergency meeting, didn't he?
That's right.
Rather than addressing a simple mistake, an emergency meeting to make sure that they got terminated, correct?
That is correct. He called a meeting of the policy on termination at the university requires that all senior faculty in the department be consulted prior to a